Chris Evans. He is Captain America to millions of fans. But before he ever put on the suit, Chris Evans almost walked away from stardom completely because it terrified him. Born in Boston, Chris found early success, wisecracking roles in Not Another Teen Movie and the Human Torch in Fantastic Four. But the fame that came with it did something the cameras never showed. It triggered crushing anxiety. Evans has openly said he battled panic attacks and insomnia, and privately dreaded the machinery of fame. The press junkets, the red carpets, the constant scrutiny. When Marvel first came to him about Captain America in 2010, he said no, more than once. A 9-picture contract felt less like a dream role and more like a life sentence to someone already struggling to sleep at night. He eventually said yes, after long talks with his team and reportedly a nudge from Robert Downey Jr. himself. He became Steve Rogers in 2011's Captain America, the first Avenger, and what followed was nearly a decade at the center of the biggest franchise in film history: Avengers, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. To the world, he was the embodiment of quiet strength. Off-camera, he later admitted he was still fighting panic attacks before premieres, terrified of saying the wrong thing on a stage watched by millions. After Endgame in 2019, Evans stepped back, chasing quieter work: Broadway's lobby hero, indie films, directing. Then, in 2020, an accidental photo leak on his own social media turned into an overnight viral scandal. The exact kind of exposure someone already anxious about fame would dread most. He handled it with humor, and it passed quickly. In the years after, he found something he'd rarely spoken about: peace. He married actress Alba Baptista in 2023, and in 2025, older and more settled, he stepped back into a hero's suit, this time as Johnny Storm in Fantastic Four. Not out of obligation, but because he wanted to. That's the part fans rarely think about. The guy who played the most fearless hero in movie history spent years quietly afraid of the very fame that role gave him. This isn't a story about a man born confident. It's about a man who said yes to something that terrified him, carried it privately for a decade, and chose it again on his own terms. Sometimes, the biggest battles happen off-camera. If Chris Evans' real story hit you, hit subscribe, because behind every famous face, there's a story worth telling.